Hey, I'm Rob Adler, and welcome to Understanding Upstate, the podcast dedicated to exploring what makes upstate New York such a unique place. Each week, my co-host Jim Search and I dive into a new upstate topic to better understand what's up upstate. And this week, we're taking a trip to Chautauqua, New York. Woo!
Ba 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 bong.
By one definition that I read about Chautauqua, they said it is a place, a movement, a noun, an institution. It's many things. The word means many things.
It's a lot of things to a lot of people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's also now become part of the Understanding Upstate catalog.
There we go.
If only any other movement could be so lucky.
It's true. It's true. I mean, we've done. We did the Niagara movement. Trying to think if we've got any others in there. We've got a few. I think this might qualify as the part of the burnt over district that we talked about very early on. I want to say, probably at least in our first year of doing the podcast. But a lot of religious and philosophical organizations got their start out in upstate New York, particularly Western New York. So we're gonna be doing it today. Some more of that.
Let's investigate it.
Yeah.
Let's unpack this.
Yeah, Jim. You know what I love unpacking?
What's that?
The loads and loads of positive reviews we've received so far.
Man,
love digging into the bag and pulling those out, taking a look. Guys, if you can help us out and add a few more, that would help us out a lot. 5 stars does a lot. But also you can write a positive review and then throw in a recommendation for your favorite upstate New York cult that got started in Western New York. And we'll talk about it. There's a pretty big one we haven't talked about yet.
There is.
There's a really big one.
Is.
There's one that, some people might get mad if we talk about it. But not as mad as if we talked about Scientology, which,
I mean, trying to have a career in entertainment.
Yeah,
I
sure.
feel like you want to be tread lightly.
Sure.
With that, right?
Sure. But hey, don't tread lightly if you want to talk positively about our podcast. So go get at that. You can also get some merch. We have some t-shirts up available at understandingupstate.printful.me. Great collection. I mentioned this a little while ago. We might be rolling out some new t-shirts. So, you never know when those are going to hit. So you're just going to have to keep that website bookmarked and refreshed frequently.
We'll do a silent drop.
Ooh, I love a surprise drop. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm into that.
Sounds good to me. So go check that stuff out. Jim, did I leave anything out? Are we ready to talk Chautauqua?
To talk yeah, there is an email address for folks to email us, and that is understandingupstate@gmail.com. Drop us a line. Tell us how we're doing.
Yeah.
Say what's up. Ask, any questions. What questions do you have about upstate New York? Maybe we can answer those for you.
Sure.
So drop them.
Let's do it. Let's have you do that. We're not going to send ourselves emails. You guys do that.
Nah, we can't.
In the meantime, we're going to talk about Chautauqua. I just love the phrase "talking Chautauqua." It's a good tongue twister.
I was going to say it rolls off the tongue a little bit.
It does. Well, let's roll into Chautauqua, shall we, Jim?
I think so. I think it's time.
All right. Okay, so Chautauqua, it is also a town. It's a town and lake resort community in Chautauqua County, New York. The population was just 4,009 people in the 2020 census. The town is named after Chautauqua Lake. It is the home of the Chautauqua Institution and the birthplace of the Chautauqua movement, which we'll talk more about. All right, well, let's learn a little bit about the history of Chautauqua, shall we? So we've got the 19th century. Chautauqua was formed on April 11th, 1805, from the town of Batavia. I feel like we've talked about Batavia before. I can't remember.
Yeah,
why.
it's come up in our 130 episodes. And I've met a few people from around the Batavia area in my hay. So, not notable. I remember the name. It's like, oh yeah, Batavia. Okay.
Batavia? Is that what you're saying?
I didn't stick out. Like
right.
Irondequoit sticks out.
Okay. Gotcha.
I have a running joke with a good friend of mine as to whether Irondequoit's a real place or not. But that's for another conversation.
It kind of sounds like a vegetable or like a small fruit, maybe like a stone fruit, an Irondequoit. I like the word regardless of if it's a real place or not.
If it's a real place or not.
Yeah. We got to get back to this real topic, though.
Yeah, we derailed.
It's true.
Back on the road.
All right, here we go. The first settler arrived the year before. This is Genesee County, by the way. This is 1804, near the current village of Mayville. When Chautauqua County was created on March 11th, 1808, the town's territory was increased to include the eastern tier of townships, so that the town and the new county were coextensive. The town is the, quote, mother of towns in Chautauqua County. What a weird phrase. Since all other towns in the county towns were once part of it, the town is still one of the largest in the county. Weird. So just other towns just eventually split off from it.
Right.
Weird. Okay. The meaning of the name Chautauqua remains unknown and a source of speculation, with two long-standing folk translations being bag tied in the middle and place where fish are taken out, the latter having some support based on similar words in other Iroquoian languages. Okay. 20th century, cruising on forward. In the years of the Chautauqua Institution's heyday, rail transport was the chief mechanism by which long-distance travelers assessed the town. To 1926, the Chautauqua Traction Interurban operated several interurbans a day from Chautauqua to Mayville, and then to Westfield. To the opposite direction, the interurban went to Lakewood and Jamestown. So I assume these are railroad services.
Sure.
Probably like commuter rails. In the late 1940s, the Pennsylvania Railroad offered service at nearby Mayville on a Pittsburgh-Buffalo route. From before the interurbans to the waning years of interurbans, steamboats provided access to different parts of the lake from Mayville to Jamestown. The Lewis Miller Cottage of the Chautauqua Institution was listed in the National Register of Historic Places and a National Historic Landmark. In 1966, the Chautauqua Institution Historic District was listed in 1974. Jim, if that hasn't stirred up enough interest into exactly what the Chautauqua Institution is, I don't know what will. So let's talk a little bit about it.
Well, you're in luck because we have plenty of information and plenty to discuss here today.
There we go.
The Chautauqua Institution is a 501c3 nonprofit education center and summer resort for adults and youth located on 2,070 acres in Chautauqua, New York, United States. It is 17 miles northwest of Jamestown in the western part of New York State's southern tier. Let's go. Established in 1874, the institution was the home of and provided the impetus for the Chautauqua movement, which we'll talk a lot about later, that became popular in the United States in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. The Chautauqua Institution Historic District is listed on the National Register of Historic Places and was further designated a National Historic Landmark. Lot of history. Speaking of history, let's get into it. Chautauqua was founded in 1874 by inventor Lewis Miller and Methodist Bishop John Hale Vincent as a teaching camp for Sunday school teachers. The teachers would arrive by steamboat on Chautauqua Lake, disembark at Palestine Park, and begin a course of Bible study that used the park to teach the geography of the Holy Land. All right. The institution has operated each summer since then, gradually expanding its season length and programming offerings in the arts, education, religion, and music. It offers educational activities to the public during the season, with public events including popular entertainment, theater, symphony, ballet, opera, and visual art exhibitions. The institution also offers a variety of recreational activities, plus a community education program called Special Studies, along with residential programs of intensive study provided for students aiming for professional careers who audition for admittance into the Chautauqua School of Performing and Visual Arts. Quite a multi-hyphenate, I must say.
Yeah, they're big on, like artist lectures and stuff, but also, throughout the summers they'll do a whole theater program, opera programs, like a lot of performance art type stuff. Although I think it's more the vocal arts versus I don't think you're going to a piano recital.
Sure. The more theatrical art.
That's the word I was looking for, not the vocal arts.
That's why I'm here, man. I'm here to make sure the boat doesn't tip over.
There we go.
The physical setting of the institution defined its development as an assembly. The grounds are on the west shoreline of Upper Chautauqua Lake. The early tent camp assembly gave way to cottages and rooming houses, and then hotels, inns, and eventually condominiums.
Oh, the natural progression from tents to condos.
The natural capitalist theme of progression is how that would go.
Yeah.
Founder Lewis Miller's daughter, Mina Miller Edison, wife of inventor Thomas Edison, offered literary classes in Fort Myers, Florida, throughout the Valinda Society. After completing courses, students were given Chautauqua diplomas. So a little study abroad, if you will. In 1973, the National Park Service added the institution to the Register of Historic Places, as we were saying before. In 1989, the Department of the Interior designated it a National Historic Landmark consisting of most of the institution property between New York 394, formerly New York 17J, the Lake, and roughly Bryant and North Avenues. That is where it's going to be. So if you go a step past North Avenue, you're outside of the district. Institution programs. Every summer during its 9-week season, Chautauqua Institution provides an array of programs, including fine and performing arts, lectures, worship services, and religious programs, as well as recreational activities. Nearly 100,000 visitors. Imagine that, from a population of 4,009 people. Dude. To have 100,000 visitors come to Chautauqua to participate in these programs and events annually. Summer admission to Chautauqua is by, quote, gate ticket, which allows entrance into the grounds. Use of Smith Memorial Library, use of public beaches and parks, and attendance at lectures and concerts. There is an additional charge for some courses, for films shown at the Chautauqua Cinema, for opera and theater tickets, and for the use of the tennis courts and golf courses. Cottages and rooms are available for long and short-term rental.
There you go. Yeah, it's still very much going on to this day. Like, you can book your cottage for a full summer. Food is not included, from what I read. But yeah, it is still very much a thing.
Still rocking.
Yeah, there's been some tumultuous things in the last few years, which maybe we'll talk about a little bit later. That I was reading about. They've had some issues, navigating present day United States, socio-political topics, shall we say. I think the main, like, you mentioned there's religious activities. It's non-denominational, so like you can go to a variety of religion. Like it's not just Christian. There's something for everyone if you want to partake in a religious activity. Mainly the thing that I think unifies everyone is they got enough scratch to throw around to go to the Chautauqua institution. It's not cheap, if you want to be there for an extended time. So it's middle class to upper, to wealthy people. That's the main unifying ideology.
Okay. I've seen this before.
So they've had some problems. There's a lot of agreement on some of these larger issues we're tackling in the year 2026. We'll get there. It's an interesting place. I will say that. And there's been some splinter groups. It's weird stuff going on there.
Right. Well, we will get there because I too would like to know specifically what's happening up there.
For sure. Before we get there, though, Jim, let's learn about the weekly programs, shall we?
Let's get in there.
All right. Programs offered during the week at Chautauqua include devotional services and a lecture on a social, political, or academic issue in the morning, a religious or political topic in the afternoon, and a night of entertainment as the evening program. This evening's amphitheater event may be a symphony concert by the Chautauqua Symphony Orchestra. I guess I was wrong about the music. We do have some music there. A dance program by the Chautauqua Ballet Company, or a show by an individual guest artist. During most weeks, there is at least one opportunity to catch an opera and a play put on by Chautauqua's residential summer companies. Operas are performed in English at Norton Hall, a 1930s-era Art Deco structure. There are also regularly scheduled organ recitals on the Massey Memorial organ. Ooh, I'm going to have to check that out. Student recitals, masterclasses, forums, and seminars for the sophisticated. I'll say, I do believe it's a pretty big deal to be an actor or like a ballet dancer and work there for a summer. Like it's not an easy gig to get. I think it pays well too. So they hire talented people to be there. Let's learn more about some of these offerings, though. We got a broad range of special courses in music, art, dance, drama, and general topics are available. The Chautauqua Schools of Music offers extremely competitive programs with scholarships. George Gershwin visited Chautauqua as a summer refuge to compose parts of his concerto in F, a small wooden piano studio. Sundays at Chautauqua feature worship services, both denominational and ecumenical? I think I nailed that. Ecumenical.
Got it.
Hell yeah. There's an afternoon amphitheater program such as a military band or a student dance program on Sundays. Entrance to the institution grounds is free. Sounds like Sunday is the day to go.
Sure. If it's a little pricey, as you were saying.
Yeah. And it's very much all in the continuing education kind of, vein for a lot of these things. Jim, that was the weekly events. You might be saying, are there events that are special? Dare I say special events?
I did say that.
Well, guess what? There are. Let's learn about some of those. We've got an annual program held on the first Tuesday of each August called Old First Night. The event is the, quote, birthday party for the institution, marking the anniversary of the opening of the first season in 1874. Several of the Chautauqua facilities will host fundraisers, including the Old First Night Run, a fun run around the grounds, hosted by the Chautauqua Sports Club, a lip sync contest called Air Band. I need to rework that name. Hosted by the Chautauqua Boys and Girls Club, and a bake sale hosted by the Chautauqua Children's Club. All money raised goes to the Chautauqua Fund. It's sounding more and more like the resort at Dirty Dancing, where they just did
Sure. Yeah, I was going to say
Corny summer activities.
this feels very Dirty Dancing-esque as like structured programming throughout the day,
Mm-hmm.
and and a big performance at the end of the summer that everyone's been working on.
Yep. Another Chautauqua favorite is the 4th of July show at the amphitheater, specializing in patriotic theme music, followed by area fireworks viewed from Chautauqua Lake. Area fireworks sounds very specific. Like, don't get your hopes up. It's not it's not the Macy's show on the Hudson. It's area fireworks.
It's going to be a couple loose bottle rockets and maybe a sparkler or two.
Yeah, someone on my block has been bringing out sparklers and the little bang things. They're like, it's a little like paper thing filled with some like
pop rocks.
Yeah,
not pop rocks, but I know what you're talking about.
It's kind of delightful to walk by and see kids whipping those at each other's feet. It's real nice. Big fan of those and sparklers. At any rate, let's see. I think that does it for the 4th of July. Occasional town barbecues at the town square called Bester Plaza, and weekly sailboat races. We have weekly sailboat races as part of the overall unique Chautauqua experience. Got some children programming as well. It's a children's school established in 1921. It's a developmental preschool for youth ages 3 to 5 and was a pioneering program in the field of nursery school education. The program consists of social, recreational, and educational activities that often incorporate other Chautauqua programs in the areas of music, drama, art, and recreation. The Chautauqua Boys and Girls Club is one of the oldest day camps in the United States, founded in 1893. While parents are engaging in various activities around the grounds, their children meet in a special area by the lake and participate in sports, art, and recreational games, such as volleyball, sailing, of course, swimming, field games, and pottery. Okay.
Lovely. That is a real way to occupy your child for the summer.
Indeed. Sailing and pottery. Universal childhood experiences. I guess I did some pottery. Not so much the sailing. Jim, we got a couple thousand acres here. I think there might be a few places of interest on the grounds. Shall we talk about it?
Oh, there is. The institution's grounds, located between New York State Route 394 and Chautauqua Lake, include public buildings, administrative offices, a library, movie theater, bookstore, hotel, condominiums, inns, rooming houses, and many private cottages available for rent during the season. There are about 400 year-round residents, but the population can increase up to 7,500 guests per day during the summer season. The institution is mostly a pedestrian community with bikes and scooters widely used, along with a 12-mile-an-hour speed limit for cars when authorized to be on the grounds. There are several parking lots located on the periphery that visitors utilize and then walk or bike into the institution. A carless society, if you will. Almost. Here are some of the places. The 4,000-seat amphitheater was demolished in September 2016 to make way for a new theater-style structure paying homage to the old structure. The new 4,500-seat amphitheater completed during the 2016-2017 off-season, in time for the institution's 2017 season, features modern amenities and facilities and improved accessibility. This project caused some controversy due to the historic nature of the old facility. Beginning of controversy. Folks, we're going to get a little deeper because I saw a little bit down the road as to some things that have happened here.
Yeah.
The Athenaeum Hotel, located on the grounds, is the only hotel owned and operated by the institution. The 156-room hotel, said to be the largest wooden building in the eastern United States, was built in the Second Empire style in 1881. It has a 2-story porch supported by narrow columns with a central mansard-covered tower. Although the number of hotel rooms had steadily declined on the grounds in the past 30 years, there has been a corresponding growth in condominiums. Palestine Park is a walk-around, landscaped, geographically scaled map of Palestine showing the general contour of the area, including mountains, valleys, bodies of water, and the cities in the correct geographical locations that existed in the 1st century CE. Throughout the week, there are multiple tours to discuss the historical and religious significance of this world-famous area. The Elizabeth S. Lena Hall is an 8,000 square foot recital and rehearsal hall dedicated in 1993. This facility was the first significant program facility to be built at the Chautauqua institution in 65 years. The building serves as a rehearsal facility for the Chautauqua Symphony Orchestra and Music School Festival Orchestra, and as a recital hall for chamber music, voice, and piano. Some very fancy stuff happening here, folks. The Lewis Miller Cottage, the residence of Chautauqua co-founder Lewis Miller, was designated a National Historic Landmark in 1965. Erected at Chautauqua in 1875, the cottage was considered one of the earliest prefabricated structures in the United States. Mina Miller Edison, Miller's daughter, spent summers there with her husband, inventor Thomas Alva Edison. And finally, the Packard Manor Estate is a two-door mansion in Chautauqua Lake, built in 1915 by automobile manufacturer William Dowd Packard, and designed by the architecture firm Warren and Wetmore. It became part of the Chautauqua grounds after the 1930 annexation.
All right.
Now, on to the prestigious, sought-after Chautauqua Prize. It is an annual American Literary Award established by the Chautauqua Institution in 2012. The winner receives $7,500 in all travel and expenses for a one-week summer residency at Chautauqua. It is, quote, a national prize that celebrates a book of fiction or literary narrative nonfiction that provides a richly rewarding experience and honors the author for a significant contribution to the literary arts. Huh.
All right.
Interesting. The Chautauqua Declaration. The Chautauqua Declaration is an annual declaration made at the Chautauqua Institution supporting international efforts to bring human rights violators to justice. Ooh, tell me more. The first declaration occurred following a meeting of current and former international chief prosecutors of international criminal tribunals and special courts in 2007. The declaration marks the 100th anniversary of the Hague Convention in 1907 and included prosecutors from the Nuremberg trials through to the International Criminal Court. They're not busy these days at all. In 2017, the 10th Chautauqua Declaration was made, signed by prosecutors from the International Criminal Courts, International Criminal Tribunal for the former Yugoslavia, Special Tribunal for Lebanon, Special Court for Sierra Leone, and the Khmer Rouge Tribunal. So they are, I'm very surprised. I must say, I was wondering what the story was here, if this was, if they were, what side of history they were going to be on. Not mad at it.
Yeah.
Not mad at it.
Again, it's a weird, I was reading a bunch of articles, and one is like, this is an institution that no one could start today. Like it is, and that it's a very wide, attendance, not a wide attendance. It pulls in a lot of different people, for, the common goal of knowledge.
Right.
Right. Which, yeah. Again, as they get closer to this day and age, they're reckoning with some things. But largely their goal seems pretty good. I think
seems pretty noble on the front end.
Yeah. Again, I think it is. There's definitely some, I think questions of access, and
Sure.
It's largely for if you have some money, but there is a free option. I love a First Friday option at a museum.
Sure.
So it's, a mixed bag, I think, ultimately. I think there's things you can interrogate, but seems like it's not all bad. But let's talk more about the movement, because again, that is a separate thing from the institution. We've got the town, we've got the institution. Let's talk about the movement, shall we, Jim?
Let's go for it.
All right. So in the late 19th century, following the model of the Chautauqua Institution, the Chautauqua movement spread throughout the United States and was highly popular until the start of World War II. By the mid-1920s, when circuit Chautauquas were at their peak, they appeared in over 10,000 communities to audiences of more than 45 million. The movement combined several concepts prevalent in the post-Civil War U.S., including the Lyceum movement, which attempted to raise the level of public education with lectures, readings, and entertainment with goals of lifelong learning and self-improvement, camp meetings and revivals, which used outdoor gatherings, and Sunday school for the purpose of religious education. The ideals of the Chautauqua Institution spread throughout the United States through many independent Chautauqua assemblies. Popping up were a series of traveling Chautauqua meetings, which incorporated many of the program's components, including lectures, music, non-denominational religious studies, and a focus on current issues. Several independent Chautauquas have survived into the 21st century. And that's kind of where, like, the noun comes in. They're like, I'm going to a Chautauqua. Like, I'm going to a educational event.
Right.
Essentially. All right. So we've got Chautauqua Literary and Scientific Circle. The Chautauqua Literary and Scientific Circle, the CLSC, founded in 1879 by Vincent, is one of America's oldest continuously operating book clubs. All right. Someone's got to be, I guess. It was founded to promote self-learning and study, particularly among those unable to attend institutions of higher learning. Originally offering the equivalent of a 4-year degree, the book club now offers certificates of graduation for the completion of 12 books on the historic book list. One book is selected for each week of the summer season, with authors generally coming to Chautauqua to discuss their writing and to talk with readers. That's cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a fancy book club.
Yeah. Well, like, hey, it sounds like you can participate if you're not at Chautauqua, right? Maybe.
I think so.
I guess originally offering the equivalent of a 4-year degree. I wonder where it's at now. But yeah, the fact they're trying to offer a option for people who can't, afford or aren't able to, like, go to a college.
I'm sure there's some Zoom option.
Sure.
If you'd like to telecommute in.
Hell yeah. All right, we got some famous visitors. Again, this has been a pretty famous place if you are an practicing artiste. We've got political figures, celebrities, artists, musicians, scientists, and writers. Since its founding in 1874, the institution has been visited by 4 sitting presidents. We got Ulysses S. Grant, Teddy Roosevelt, Franklin Roosevelt, and Bill Clinton. Okay. Really skipped a few decades.
I see it skipped 130 years. So.
All right. It was at the Chautauqua Institution Amphitheater that FDR addressed a crowd of more than 12,000 with his historic I Hate War speech in 1936. Future President James A. Garfield visited in 1880, and future President William McKinley visited the Chautauqua Institution when he was the governor of Ohio in 1895. U.S. Supreme Court Justice Robert H. Jackson was a lifelong attendee and lecturer at Chautauqua. John Q. Barrett wrote, "For almost 50 years, Chautauqua was a major part of Jackson's expanding horizons, intellectual development, study, and leisure. It was one of the places he loved best, and it deserves much credit for making him what he became, as he does for advancing it." I want to know what his bench record is. Curious to see.
Be interesting to see how that unfurled.
Yeah. Supreme Court Justices Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Anthony Kennedy, and Sandra Day O'Connor lectured at Chautauqua during their tenure on the bench. Future Supreme Court Justice Stanley Foreman Reed spoke at Chautauqua in July 1937 while serving as the U.S. Solicitor General. Future Justice Thurgood Marshall lectured at Chautauqua in August 1957 while serving as a director and chief counsel of the NAACP. The institution has been visited by other historically notable figures, including William James, Booker T. Washington, Susan B. Anthony, Amelia Earhart, and Eric Foner. Celebrities from the performing arts who performed at Chautauqua include John Philip Sousa. Oh, wow. We got some marches going on, baby. Love a Sousa march. It's just funny to think of John Philip Sousa doing live in concert. I digress. Duke Ellington, Ella Fitzgerald, Lucille Ball, and Johnny Mathis, and contemporary artists Rhiannon Giddens, Leanne Rimes, Jimmy Johnson, Toby Keith, Henry Connick Jr., Ben Folds, and Clay Aiken. Okay, what a list.
From Duke Ellington to Clay Aiken.
What a list of contemporary artists like Clay Aiken. I don't know if we can call Clay Aiken contemporary anymore. I mean, he's more recent than Duke Ellington, but I don't know what he's done lately. Let's see. August. Oh, this is so. A lot of people will probably remember this is a thing that occurred, but not realize where it happened. In the month of August, 2022, author Salman Rushdie was stabbed multiple times at Chautauqua when he was about to give a lecture. Pretty famous thing that occurred. And that gave question to some security concerns at the Chautauqua Institute. So let's kind of get a little bit more into that incident. And this was the start of a lot. After this happened, there's a lot of fallout around the leadership at the institution. It became a lot more. The leadership themselves became a lot more secretive. And then as time marched on, some people wanted to be able to talk about whatever they wanted to at the Chautauqua, and were concerned about people being too woke, and some people split off. There's a Thomas Jefferson impersonator, just weird shit. But it all kind of this was the inciting incident that is kind of continued to affect the institution. But let's read a little bit more about it. So questions are raised about Chautauqua Institution after the stabbing of Salman Rushdie. Although a state trooper and a sheriff's officer were present at the event, Michael Hill, president of the Chautauqua Institution, stated that the institution had ensured that law enforcement officers were present for the event. Again, Salman Rushdie has had basically death threats, I don't know, for the last 30 years. Like he's very famous author. I believe he was critical of Iran, and that, has resulted in, I think, basically a life of death threats. Though this,
I only laugh at that because it's just standard affair for him now. It's like, yeah, I know you want to kill me.
Yeah, well, I mean, this was a surprise because there hadn't been any threats in a while, and I think he had refrained from speaking in public for a long time, and it was like, all right, I think it's safe to speak now. Like, there weren't as many concerns about it at that time, and someone made an attempt on his life. Anyway, so let's see. He described the assault on Rushdie as, quote, unlike anything in the institution's nearly 150-year history. However, one eyewitness claimed that there was no security on stage. One attendee noted that while food and drinks were prevented from being brought into the event, there was no screening for weapons. Yeah,
fair. Don't bring in your own snacks.
Yeah.
But that 380 you have tucked in your waistband, get in here.
There you go. It was alleged that the leadership of the Chautauqua Institution disregarded recommendations for security precautions because they felt it would alienate the audience from the speakers. Again, this is like a particular situation, there's specific threats against this guy historically. Following the attack, the Chautauqua institution announced it would require guests to furnish photo IDs to get a Sunday gate pass, which previously could be secured anonymously on Sundays, where there is no fee for entry. Carried bags larger than a wristlet will also be banned in the amphitheater. So there you have it. Again, yeah, it's kind of the, when I Googled Chautauqua Institution controversy, which I haven't done that in a while. That used to be like the first thing I would do.
Sure.
Do a topic. This is the main thing that came up. And then again, there's been a lot of fallout after this. Some groups have split off, and we'll kind of see, I guess, what happens this summer as they kick off another season, I guess. But that's the Chautauqua institution, the movement, a little bit of the city,
the town. I think it's important to get a little bit of the backstory of where this place exists,
for sure,
in the universe of upstate New York.
Indeed. And there again, there's more. There's other Chautauqua cities out there. Like there's one in Minnesota. There's a little little hamlet that was a Chautauqua. They're around. And again, it still exists. I think it's a thing. Like, Jim, had you ever heard of the Chautauqua Institute before?
Not before today.
Yeah, I think for older generations, it holds a little bit more weight. But yeah, I really wasn't aware of it until a little not too long ago, as a thing and a movement.
Well, I know it today.
There you go. Well, what I know is we need some people to subscribe, rate, and review this show, Jim. We got our own little movement going on, and all you got to do to participate is subscribe. Also listening, that that helps.
They go hand in hand.
It's true.
They truly do go hand in hand.
It's true. Like tents and condos, Jim. Tents and
right.
condos.
But I mean, I think of one. They're very symbiotic for sure.
It's true. So again, help us out. Share an episode with a friend. 5-star review. Write some positive things about us. Toss in a suggestion for a future topic. And hey, we'll cover it. We'll do it. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, we'll get into it. We'll get right to it.
Absolutely. Speaking of getting right to it, we need to get to some plugs. Jim, what do you got for us today?
All right. So check this out. You've moved from a tent to a condo.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking great, right? You
Sure.
blew up. Don't know how you got your money. Not my place to ask. To be honest with you.
Sure.
How you get your money is how you get your money. But I do know that you went from a place that did not have electricity and running water into a place that does. And you are now in the lap of luxury, opulence, if you will. And you're a lover of the arts. That's why you're at Chautauqua, right? So check this out. There's no better way to celebrate fine art than my comedy album, Upstate Understandings. It's the best way to do it because it is truly fine art at its finest, if I must say. It is a true tour de force of comedy, available at jimsearch.bandcamp.com. It's a good place to pick that up. It's also on the Pure Comedy channel on SiriusXM. Just had a spin a couple days ago. Pretty fucking rad, I must say. And yeah, get right into it. It is a true collaborative effort. I brought the jokes. Rob brought the production. My friend Matt brought the video. And Adam brought the cover. So go get that. And of course, go hit me up at jimsearchcomedy.com. That's where all my show dates go and things like that. And also Jim Search on all social media. Follow me there, but don't follow me in real life. Follow this movement. We have a movement. It is an Understanding Upstate movement. Follow it. Make sure you tell a friend about the show. Spread it like wildfire, baby. And then, yeah, just go buy a bunch of our t-shirts and shit. It'd be pretty dope if you did that.
Oh, yeah.
Rob, that's all I got. But yet, they still want more. What else can they do?
let's just say you were at the Chautauqua Institute. You caught John Philip Sousa doing one of his many famous marches. You're all fired up. You want some more music? And hey, you can grab my album. It's nothing like a John Philip Sousa march, but it's got a pretty good beat to it. I think you might like it. So go check it out. Available at brooklynfrequency.bandcamp.com. We also got a little documentary. It's a little behind the scenes look at the making of Jim's album. There's a link for that in the description. It's on our YouTube channel where you can listen to this podcast now if that's how you prefer to consume podcasts. Link in the description for all of those things. Check them out there. Jim, we just got a couple items of closing business here. First of those is for a hint on next week's episode.
What we're going to get into next week. I'll tell you one thing, man. There is no place like upstate New York.
I like it. I like it.
Oh, yeah.
There's a couple different ways you could have taken it. I wouldn't have thought of the one you did, which is why I liked it.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. Well, Jim, that means we just need a little up pun to close us out here.
Well, give it to the people.
Well, Jim, I'm at the Chautauqua Institute now. I've parked my car at the Outer Rim parking lot. I need to walk up to the Institute. It was a stretch, but it worked. It'll end the episode.
It got up there. And that's what we needed. Understanding Upstate is a podcast hosted by Jim Search and Rob Adler, edited by Rob Adler, and music from Regal Monk.